Good freaking god. Well, for 190 raiders, I could start the stream a little bit early. Hello, everybody. Special welcome to our cultist friends. Welcome to Attack on Tuesday. My name is Taggart. If you haven't been here before, you're very, very welcome. Asheroth, 0x Jelly, thank you so much for the follows. Alright, so, we're starting a little bit early, but that's all good. Let me tell you what we're up to today. Let me actually move the mic a little bit closer. There we go. Llama Llama, thank you for the follow. Ralphie Z, there's going to be a lot of these. I'll try as best I can to get to all the thank yous. Al, thank you. Yep, I am an actual synthwave freak, so wanted to represent that in the views. Here's what we're doing tonight. By popular demand, we are hacking a Windows box on TryHackMe. So I was taking a look through them and was looking for something that was interesting, and I happened to see this one here, All Sides Point to Pwnage. Maybe you've done it, maybe you haven't, but we're going to go through it together. And so, you know, it's kind of, if you search for Windows and TryHackMe, it's like at the very last page. So, also, I have to say, special place in my heart for digital signage systems. Why? Because they're everywhere, and they are delicious. They are so fun to go after. Husky. Oh, snap. Husky Hacks is going to let us playtest his room. You know what? If you're ready to do that, I'm all for it. If you're open to doing that on the stream, that would be amazing. Let's see if we can at least get to foothold on this room, and then, yeah, let's see if we can do that. That would be amazing. I'm all for it. Good lord, everybody, thank you so much for the follows. You're very, very, very welcome. Alright, so let's get started with going after this machine. So, we begin all good things in the name of the Father, the Son. No, just kidding. What we actually do at the beginning of our enumeration is we begin with Rust Scan. So I use Rust Scan to quickly hit all the TCP ports in order, and then everything that Rust Scan finds, it sends over to Nmap. So we get the Nmap report, but we only do so after we've verified that the port is open. So we don't have to go through all of that trouble in the first place. Thank you again, cultists, for all the follows. Really appreciate it. Very glad to see all of you. So let's take a look at what Rust Scan found for us on this machine. Alright, let's see what we have here. Hagrid, Rust Scan, super quick, bang against the ports. Yes, by default it's TCP, you can make it do UDP if you want. And the thing with Rust Scan is that it's multi-threaded and stupid fast. In fact, it's so fast that if you're not careful, you can DOS a system using it. The same thing with Ferox Buster, right? I use a Rust toolchain for a lot of my enumeration and discovery stuff, and it is so fast that if you do not throttle it down, you very likely will take down the server that you're going after. So actually, before we get into the Nmap report, let's talk about Rust Scan for a second and the commands that I use to actually use it. I have Wi-Fi issues every time I run Rust Scan. This is why, because you are sin flooding your own self. So here's the deal. If you use Rust Scan, I use a batch of 300, basically meaning that's however many active connections we can maintain at any one time. And so 300 is fine if you wanna like slow it down or speed it up, but 300 seems to work out okay for me as a balance between speed and not bringing things down. And then you give it the address. You can also give it a range of ports, but I think this command option, the B300, is really where you wanna live with it. Al, you have issues every time I use Rust. You know what, Al, let's talk, because I know that Rust, especially the Rust toolchain, it can be a lot to get started with. I did a weird thing. I used to be a web developer, right? So when I needed to learn systems programming, I totally bypassed C. I learned Rust instead. And now, as Husky knows, I've fallen totally in love with Nim recently, so I'm doing Nim as of, like, this week. But for the longest time, I was focusing on Rust, and so if you're having issues with Rust or any of the tools, the offensive tools that are in the Rust toolchain, let's talk about that, because I figured out some stuff that at least works for me with it, but there are definitely some edge cases that are a little bit funny. All right, so after running this, right, we get the nmap report, and let's take a look at that. Okay, so we have FTP, delicious, and also we, because we ran all scripts, we know that there's anonymous FTP login allowed. So that's going to be our first vector. That's the first thing we're going to try. Obviously, we have a web server going on here, running Apache on Windows, which is, it's not WinHTTPD, it's straight up Apache with PHP enabled, which is interesting. And of course the HTTP title is simple slideshow, so that's going to be different. And do we have, so 135, 139 are open for RPC, and 445, great. So we have SMB potentially. Remote desktop, awesome. And then certificate information. And then, woohoo, VNC. Oh boy. You know, VNC, especially with digital signage boxes, if that's indeed what it is definitely something to look for. A lot of times, vendors will have hard-coded or at least default passwords for VNC to get direct, quick access to the machine. Because their assumption is, oh, you're going to be running this in an isolated network, right? You have a digital signage, or you have an AV VLAN that you've locked off in your environment, right? Maybe not, so you might want to check that out. And then we have MSRPC stuff. It does not look like we have WinRM open. That's okay. We have plenty more to play with. So let's get started with that FTP, huh? FTP to our IP address. Name. Naughty Mouse. And by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but if you're doing this from the command line, this is old school. You know, you can send whatever you want, but I like to send user@domain.com because that's how it used to be. All right, remote system type is Windows NT, of course. We'll do a dir. We have a notice.txt. Can I do ls-a on here, just in case? No, it doesn't recognize that one. Okay, so we'll get notice.txt. Oh, of course, I killed it with that. Anonymous, user@domain.com. Get notice.txt. What in the world are we listening to? Let's chill that out a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we got ourselves a notice.txt. We don't need the FTP open, but I might want a second window, so I'm gonna exit that and then take this second window down. Let's TryHackMe, all signs, and we'll cat notice.txt. Due to customer complaints about using FTP, we have now moved images to a hidden Windows file share for upload and management of images. Okay, that's fine. We're going to use SMB tools now to take a look at what we have. We're going to start with SMB client, but we very likely will move on to SMB map and potentially even crack map exec, just to look at what we have here on the shares. So, we'll do SMB client -L, the IP address. And you got anything for us? No. Make sure that's still up because I didn't see any response. Yeah. Okay. So it's still up. SMB client didn't play ball. Let's give it a user of null to see if that does any better. No, not so much. And before anyone tells me that I need to add slashes, no, I don't. With SMB client, the slashes are for when you're accessing a specific share. With the -L for listing the shares, you actually don't need any slashes whatsoever. You can just give it the straight IP. And for those of you who have been using SMB client and you've been typing 4 backslashes, you don't need to do that either. You can also do 2 // if you're on a Linux machine. All right, so that didn't work out so much. Let's give enum for Linux a shot, just to see if that has anything for us. Is 445 open? Yeah, we saw that 445 was open in the notes. That's a good question, Big Mama Tristana. But yes. All right, so enum for Linux is doing the whole smash, right? It's doing NetBIOS, it's doing workgroup stuff, but eventually it'll get to SMB shares. Meanwhile, I'm going to fire up my web app pen testing profile here in Brave. There's all the Nada stuff that we were doing last Tuesday. And let me fire up my proxy here. I'm one of those strange people that prefers using Zap to burp, so if you are interested in figuring out what Zap is all about, you're in the right spot. Yes, I want to persist this session. We will put it in all signs. All right. Well, for those of you who are not so sure about Zap, you just wait and see. You watch and you tell me if this one window isn't easier to navigate than the 35 that you have to navigate with Burp. Actually, I like Burp Suite just fine. And I was paying for a pro license for a year before I started my current position, and because it was technically a blue team role. Oh, Al, that's actually a good point. In terms of Zap, so the HUD, the heads-up display on the browser, I turn that off. I disable the HUD because it's it can do some pretty weird stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, Burp is fine, but yeah, I got to a point where I was pretty functional with Zap, and yeah, I've gotten it to pretty much do what I want it to do. Now, I'm not doing like multi-domain bug hunting, and I'm not doing like things at that scale, right? I'm doing one web app at a time, pretty hands-on. So for those other things, could be a little bit underpowered, but it's scriptable in a pretty powerful way. All right, let's go after this HTTP site. Simple slideshow. Okay, so what do we have here? Wappalizer is going to tell us that it's jQuery. We have some images getting loaded. It's interesting. Still no shares. That's so strange. Zap gang. Very nice, Derpzilla. Okay. I am absolutely... We are going to use CrackMap exec. Take a look at this thing. Was it on a weird port? Was it on a non-standard port? Oh, no. I was just too impatient with CrackMap exec. CME was finding it. I was just impatient. Let's take a look at what we have going on here, though. So Wappalizer tells us that it's Apache, it's PHP, which is going to be fun. Let's just do a quick view source to see what we have going on. So /content.php and /images for our source here. Alrighty. My guess is we're looking at a actually a local file inclusion vulnerability plus an arbitrary file upload vulnerability. So we're going to be able to upload, if what I think is true, we're going to be able to upload to the images share, right, and include the image this way. And the image may not be... It may load it regardless of whether it's an image. You know what I mean? So we might be able to load ourselves some malicious PHP, getting us a shell on the system. Let's see if /images is browsable. That's nice. That makes it even easier, right? Because then we don't have to worry about how it's included in the source. We can just navigate directly to our malicious file if it lets us upload it. Okay, so status access denied. So we weren't able to get any of the shares off of this. So we may have to do a little bit more recon here to figure out a user. And let's see, was there anything else that we were missing? Let's go back to our nmap. So we had FTP, right? And all we saw was the notice.txt. And 443. Yeah, 445 is open, and then remote desktop. Okay. And did the notice actually tell us what the share was called? To a hidden Windows file share for upload and management of images. Well, images couldn't hurt, right? So let's see if we can SMB client. And this is where we need the slashes. Nope. All right. So we're still looking for something. Oh, we have some questions we can answer, in theory. Images or images $? Yeah, that's a good one. Try uploads as well. Or upload. That was fast. Aha! Oh, but that's because I gave it the null. Strange are the ways of SMB client. But yeah, images and installs. Now, we are still going to need some sort of credentials to do anything fun with these shares. You know what? Actually, what we're going to do... What? Alright, I wasn't expecting to get an SMB prompt after that, but neat. I was all ready to like, all right, let's SMB map all these shares and let's see what we can write to. Okay, fine. All right, it's PHP. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. Let's fire up MSF console, get that going, and then let's write ourselves a payload. So let's exit out of this because we're gonna lose it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do MSF Venom, and we're gonna build our payload to be PHP Meterpreter reverse TCP. This looks good. Output is mt.php, and we got to change this up. It's 10.13.7.20 for my L host on TryHackMe. The L port 8443. Weird, but not too weird. And go build that. We'll actually, let me copy over that payload so I don't have to type it all out. Over in Metasploit, we're gonna use exploit multi-handler, and we're gonna set the payload to that thing that I just copy pasted. We're gonna set the L port to 8443 and set the L host to 10.13.7.20. Now, I know this happened last time. I know that somebody's gonna say, well, you can just say ton 0 or whatever for your VPN tunnel. I know that should work, but I swear to you, every time I try that, it doesn't work. So I've just gotten used to memorizing my IP address on the different sites and just throwing it in there as well. Also, that's just like a disease that I have. As soon as I see an IP address, I end up memorizing it. I think it was a survival instinct for a while for being the single network administrator for a couple of different schools and having to just know what an IP address was off the top of my head. No, so let me tell you what the downside of that particular brain quirk is. When you're working support and someone's like, no, here, let me just show you my password so you can type it in. I have to be like, no, because if I see it, then it's stuck. And I don't want your password in my brain. All right, let's check this out. See if everything's good. The L host is good. The L port is good. The payload is correct. Let's run that as a job in the background. So it's just listening for somebody to phone home. All right, we have our PHP file. So let's rerun SMB client. And we're going to put mt.php. I cannot believe it's this easy so far. Okay. Slash images, please. Okay. Oh, Discord says invalid. My bad. Let me, boy, I thought I did that less than a week ago. He's in, kind of. This is a Windows thing where I can't run. This is something I've actually run into in actual pen tests where the, I forget what, the pair.php, doesn't allow you to run proper shell commands. So we're going to have to attempt to escalate our shell in another way. But for now, it's something. But let me get you that better Discord link. Yeah, give that one a shot. Okay, so we're in XAMPP HTT docs, and this is a thing you can look up. Like XAMPP has this weird thing with pair. Okay, no worries, Husky. We'll be excited to do it when it's ready. Okay. Right, I can't do that from the interpreter shell. Boo. Okay. But what I can do Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So this was one way to do it. Couldn't I also have done SMB exec if I have write privileges to this thing? Oh, but I don't have admin permissions, right? You need RPC permissions in order to use SMB exec, so that's not going to work. So yeah, we're stuck with the PHP shell for the moment. None of that's going to work. This will. Well, I don't believe that's true at all. Okay, well, we got the user flag. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. How many TCP ports under 1024 were open? How many were open? Under 1024. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is the hidden share? Images $. Good call to whoever shouted that out. One a cyber. Yeah, nice work. Okay, foothold. What user is signed into the console session? Sign. What hidden non-standard share is remotely accessible as an administrative account? Was it installs? Yeah, which we haven't gotten to yet. And what is the context of user flag.txt? Okay. So we have this, like, not awesome shell here. And let's see if there's anything interesting running. Oh, we can't know that, apparently. Drag Zero, thank you so much for the follow. Project DP. Okay, yeah, so that didn't work out. Do I still have an LS here? Yes, good. I can still run things. So, this is where I'm still definitely getting my Windows feet under me. So we have this PHP shell, and there's not a whole lot that we can do with it. Although, if I have the ability to write stuff, maybe I can try to run another shell from here that has a little bit more capability. So I can't even run PowerShell commands from here. And I don't have any credentials yet. So you use web delivery PowerShell one-liner to spawn better Windows shell. Yeah. So that's like what I would think about doing, but because this PHP shell is so limited, I can't even do that. The only thing that I was thinking that I could do at the moment is do a... Yep, that's exactly what I was going to do, Husky. Yep, try to upload with exec. Here's the thing. I have reason to suspect that exec itself does not work. What is it? What is it? Execute. Every time. Okay. Documents and settings. That's the FTP route. Where did we start? Low these many commands ago. czamp htdocs. It's one of the strangest things. Okay. Love it. So for the moment, I'm going to background this. Why? Because we're going to change up our Meterpreter listener options. We're going to set the payload to Windows. Did we get anything like a fingerprint, an OS fingerprint on this? Not really. Aggressive guess is Windows 10, Windows Longhorn. So odds are that it's a 64-bit system. So we'll go for that. So Windows x64 Meterpreter. And I realize that this is not super OPSEC safe, but that's okay for now. Reverse TCP. Set L port 8444. And we'll run that listener as well. And then over in our... Yeah, all we need to do is change up the port 8444. And we're going to put mt.exe. And if it doesn't work through here, we can use upload through the Meterpreter session that we already have. But we should be able to get it out. Did not like that. Interesting. Now, that could be because this is obviously a nasty binary we're doing. Yeah, I mean, that would be wild on a digital signage device, but it's not impossible. I wasn't planning on breaking out the new NIM technique that I piloted today, but if I have to, I have to. Yeah. I mean, Windows Defender isn't impossible, right? Let's get back over to our... Okay. No, 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 no! I think the PHP shell died. Which of course it did. What was it? Reverse, right? Yeah. Okay. Meterpreter. Oh, I did the unstaged, but I set the payload to be staged. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I don't use the post-exploit modules that often, but that's probably a good idea. Shell to interpreter. That's fun. Give that a shot. Let me see if I can, since I need one of these up now, unstaged. Local exploit suggester is great. It is. So here's the thing with all of those. I need a proper shell. Once I have one, once I'm at, like, the problem here is XAMPP. The implementation of PHP that XAMPP uses does not grant me full abilities to run commands through the system function in PHP. That's the issue that we're currently running up against. So I need to use what little I have in the PHP shell or whatever else to get past that. Once I have that proper shell, then we can do all the other cool interpreter stuff. Okay, sessions 3. Okay, now we're going to try to upload. I'm not optimistic. Okay, it went up. So execute -f mt.exe. So the process was created. But I swear that this is, I've run into this before where it looks like I can execute something, but then nothing happens. I need... Wait a minute. Yeah, I think here's what happens. I think they're... Oh! Okay, so at least that's still up. I got worried that Defender picked up the obvious interpreter shell and killed both the child and parent process, which would be super aggressive for Defender. It does that in some situations, but okay. So mt.exe, if it ran, we didn't get anything back. But I just realized we didn't do a really important part, which is we didn't enumerate the web application from the server side. So we're gonna just kind of look around in here and see if there's anything helpful for us. Slide.html, next up PHP. Blue Kid, thank you for the follow. And also Monimo ×3, thank you for the follow. All right, that's all static HTML. We want PHP. Let's cat content.php, just in case. There's a... What am I trying to say? That there's a comment or something. There is not at all. Scander images, start JSON array. Okay, nothing that interesting there. What about applications.html? Actually, can I just read that? Yeah, good call, Acosta. Okay, that's just default stuff. Yeah, that is a great one. Good eye. So if not empty HTTPS and on equals server HTTPS. So this is a redirect. Header, location, dashboard. Something is wrong with the XAMPP installation, frowny face. So can we just go to /dashboard? No. Damn. PHP my admin would have been fun. Okay, but and this actually might help us understand some of what's going on here. Yeah, but you know what? We have a username now, right? I mean, is it worth, you know, trying to rock you a few usernames at this thing? That seems inelegant for what we've been doing so far. So, but I'll leave that as a last resort. Something is wrong with the XAMPP installation. I mean, okay. You don't have permission to access this resource. Wonder how that's getting determined. Is that just an internal rule? Is there an HT access? Let's take a look at what else we have. I do not believe that they've set up PHPMyAdmin. We do have Webalizer here. Okay. We've looked at content.php, right? And we've looked at index.php. The something is wrong with the XAMPP installation feels like a hint. If not empty, server HTTPS and on equals server HTTPS. Then we do a redirect, otherwise go to HTTP. URI equals... Yeah, same. Is it... Location, URI, dashboard. All right, let's back up for a second. So we have a very limited PHP shell that can't do much of anything. And Other than ls, interestingly, but I can't, like, run extra applications. And I can't even do, like, PS, right? If I do sysinfo, will that... Yeah, it doesn't tell me much at all. That I can get. But if I try PS, I can't list any running processes. Run post, multi, manage, shell to interpreter. Okay. Interpreter sessions cannot be upgraded any higher. Yeah, see? Look at that. And I can't even interact with that channel. No. It's a good guess, Husky. This is absolutely a limitation that I've run into when going up against this. There may or may not be a certification exam that I've gone through where I hit this exact problem. I mean, let's see if there's some research on this. Right? Let's do XAMPP, interpreter, Windows. Maybe this is a known thing. Oh, wait, what? You think? I didn't even imagine 7411. No. This is ancient. But, you know, best practices. Let's do a search exploit for XAMPP. That's a much higher number. 1.7, 1.82, 1.7. We're looking at 7.4. Okay. Why is your interpreter session dying? Try these fixes. I mean, it's possible it's 32-bit. You think? But it's PHP, so it doesn't matter. This one isn't architecture independent or architecture dependent. So that one I don't think is. Let's see what happens if I do one of these. These are ancient. Okay, you know what? Instead of relying so heavily on this interpreter shell, let's try something else. Let's try, from my good pal Hack Tools here, we're gonna get the, because we can upload stuff, right? We can upload whatever we want. So we're gonna upload the web shell. I love this thing. Documents, TryHackMe, and all signs, we'll put it there. We'll call it WS, save. Nito, thank you for the follow. So, am I still in the same place? Okay, we're gonna upload. What extension with that? Oh, record scratch.wave. If you haven't seen Hack Tools, this is really an amazing piece of kit. They should have the link to the repo in here. I'll see if I can find it, but basically, if anybody in chat knows what the GitHub repository is for that, could help us out. But basically, it has these just like predefined things that you can just copy and paste real easily for lots of different reverse shells, SQL injection stuff, cross-site scripting. It's just a real easy toolbox that you have at your disposal. And in addition to showing up here, it also exists as a developer console pane, so you can have it open constantly. Real handy. Oh, really? That's it. You got it, Neon. That's exactly what it is. Yep, last CC. And it is available now in both the Firefox and Chrome extension stores. But you can also grab it straight from GitHub. Yep. It's a fantastic piece of kit. Definitely in my new Kali install download list. Okay, upload, home, there. Documents, TryHackMe, all things, ws.php. Awesome. Okay, let's see if this one does any better for us. It may not, but, worth a shot. So here, we're going to go to images, ws.php. It would help if I put in a dot instead of a /. Dang it. So this is actually the problem right here. This is how I discovered that this was the issue before with the commands. That XAMPP doesn't have pair. The include path is C XAMPP in unknown on line 0. Fail opening required Z include path equals. Yeah, we're gonna look that up. Hey Zarsek, do I have access to any config files? Not so far. You know, generally with XAMPP, I would expect MySQL to be somewhere. But of course, I don't have the ability to run MySQL commands. What was the error? Failed opening required. Yeah, I feel like I've run into this enough time. Like, I feel like I've clicked on these exact links before. Oh, Stack Overflow. What are we looking at? So... Can we just do that? Can we add the htaccess file? I didn't know you could do that with htaccess. Okay, let's try that. Husky, I was always a sysadmin. Alright, well, let's try that. I mean... Wrong thing. There we go. By the way, let's not just blindly copy paste. Let's learn about htaccess and PHP include path, because that's new to me and it seems pretty important. Setting the PHP include path. Use the htaccess file. Include path dot colon slash. Okay. Now, is this a case sensitivity thing? Because there is a czamp PHP pair, right? I think this is a case sensitivity problem. Or my shell just died. One or the other. Let's get our shell back. And try that again. Wait a minute. No. These old Windows boxes on TryHackMe. I swear to God, every time. Yeah, so, new TryHackMe players, if you haven't run into this yet, it's not a 30-minute limit, it's a 60-minute limit, and the reason it's a 60-minute limit is because after your trial license for the VM expires, After an hour, your virtual machine will shut down. And that's exactly what just happened. So we're going to have to let this spin back up and then re-upload our shells. But at least we are making some progress here. No, Sindar Remedy. I mean, the way that I learned that, by the way, is by having my own eval licenses expire. But yeah, it's just something to be aware of, that, you know, it's actually a speed run or a time trial. You know, or like one of those... I played a lot of Sonic as a kid, so it's like, you know, one of the levels where you have something that you have to stay ahead of the whole time. Yeah, it's super annoying. And by the way, all they'd have to do is rebuild the machine with either a new version, or actually, if it's within the 90, what is it, 30 days? Or, yeah, 30 days, I think, for the Windows 10 eval license. All you have to do, and I'll tell you, if anybody has an eval license and they want it to last slightly longer, all you have to run is this command in an admin command prompt. slmgr.vbs/rearm. Oh no, you're right, Czar. I apologize. Although this one is actually pretty simple. Where, you know, if you run this /rearm, you'll get another, whatever it is, 30 or 60 days on your license. And you can do that 3 times. So, I actually think it is 60 days. So you get a total of 180 days on an eval license if you do it the right way. Alright, let's see if this thing's actually up. Not yet. Neon, does that work for Windows Server 29 eval licenses or just Windows 10? Nah, it works for the Windows eval licenses too. I think it's shorter, but it does work. I think you get a max 90 days out of those. Great. Put mt.php. Seems a lot more responsive this time. By the way, we haven't been using Zap a whole lot because it isn't actually a web app thing. But let's see what web app or what Zap has shown us here. Well, we have a bunch of alerts here. Vulnerable JS library. This is actually usually a false positive. X-frame options, header not set. That's just sloppy IIS administration, or in this case, Apache. Access control allow origin is set to star, not good. And then directory indexing is enabled. So I have all these alerts right here that if I were actually doing this in an organization, I could fire this out in a report and, you know, drive some system administrator crazy until they remediate all these vulns. I can also focus it into whatever I want in a specific scope. And then here's what the response request window looks like. Real easy to view. Real easy to view. I like it a lot. Alrighty, sessions 4. Now, okay, so all caps PHP pair works. Lowercase PHP pair works. Okay, so what we're going to try to do because plainly, we're also going to upload... Wait, do I still have the SMB shell? I do. We're going to put ws.php. Will I be joining for the Alice CTF this weekend? I can. I saw a little bit of that on Footpicks Discord, but I didn't follow up. Yeah. Count me in. I got, like, 2 challenges into the Google Beginner Quest CTF last weekend, and absolutely threw in the towel. I threw in the towel at having to program a self-driving AI in JavaScript. I even like JavaScript, but there's a reason why I don't do robotics. It's edge cases. Edge cases are why I don't do robotics. Okay, so what we want to try to do here is... We have a couple different ways to upload things right now. But we're going to do upload... Actually, yeah, I can put the HT access right in here, can't I? Put home and taggart upload. Yeah, the password... So here's an important thing. A lot of these CTFs, especially when you're getting started, can be really, really intimidating and can be really discouraging because it feels like you just don't know where to begin. And this is why I have real issues with the try harder mentality that offensive security and the OSCP exam and Hack the Box in particular kind of promotes. Because I think it's a little... No, it's a lot gatekeepy, but also it just doesn't... That's not how people learn. Yes, people can succeed in those conditions, but it's not conducive to success, and you want to create something that's conducive to success. If you're actively trying to make things unnecessarily difficult, that's what gatekeeping is. So, with a lot of these beginning CTFs, there's like one thing that you have to know a priori in order to succeed. And if you don't know that, you just don't have any place to get a handhold or a foothold. And that can be very, very frustrating. That does not speak to your ability. That speaks to inexperience. And it's okay to be inexperienced. This is why I'm actually a big believer when you're starting out learning something new, that it is actually okay to try, then read the walkthrough. Don't just read the walkthrough. Read the walkthrough, try again, internalize the wisdom of how things work, explain to yourself or somebody else how it worked. So you're telling yourself that story of the knowledge. Because remember, our knowledge is narrative in nature. So you have to be able to put a beginning, middle, and end to it, put it in order, so that it stays with you. But reading a walkthrough for a challenge that you can't complete otherwise is a perfectly reasonable place to start. Then go back and try it again without the walkthrough. If it still doesn't work, lather, rinse, and repeat. But this idea that you can never ask for help is just dumb. It's not how people work. So don't let any elitism or gatekeepy stuff stop you from getting the help you need or working the way that works best for you. There is no such thing as eliteness. It's just a fake idea. Scripts. Nope, that's not where I'm going. Documents. TryHackMe. Oh, you're welcome, Monimo. I've had too many people, not know where to begin and feel like they didn't belong, and I felt like I don't belong a lot of times, and that's just well, it can be your own head playing tricks on you, but it also can speak to some cultures that are not so great. Okay, so let's try this. So we've just uploaded the htaccess file to the images folder, which should handle htaccess. That's absolutely right, Zarsek. There are great communities. Not for nothing, but ours is pretty awesome. Okay, let's try this again. I feel like this is just wrong. Was that what it was before? Should it be a colon? Isn't that what we saw? No, semicolon. Oh, because it's local. I see what it's saying. So include local folder, then C XAMPP PHP pair. And it can't include that? Let's actually just confirm that this htaccess is doing anything at all. I put it right in the images folder, Zarsek. Okay, so the htaccess is having an effect. You think I can do relative paths? Yeah. We're in images, so how far down? So up to htdocs, up to XAMPP, so up to then PHP pair. Now, this is very possibly just like a red herring, or some other metaphor. Failed opening required. So I feel like the user sign cannot get access to this PHP. So this is a permissions issue. So fine, we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna understand that we have a limited shelf for the moment, and we're gonna have to figure out something else that we can do with this. We already got the user flag. I mean, I don't think so, but worth a shot. Okay. the hell is this? Is that something I should know about? Husky, did you see creds in here? Okay. Whoa, insane. I've never seen one of these before. Decrapification complete, huh? Hmm. Thought maybe it might be a directory thing. Like if I moved over to my home folder rather than the XAMPP folder, I would be able to get away with something. Oh yeah. That's right, VNC is installed. You think maybe that, I mean, man, I am stumped. I mean, if I'm remembering what I did before when I ran into this, because it's been a minute. Sorry, that was not a great look. I think there might be some reverse shells that might play better. Wait, is this literally the one that GoPro just linked in our Discord? It sure is. All right, let's give it a shot. It depends, Husky, it depends on how the system function is implemented in PHP itself. But yeah, it should. I mean, but then again, we had that web shell, which again also did not have anything interesting going on. Like, let's take a look at that web shell just to show you. You know, something in how this is working, right? Change directories, things like that. Right, shell exec is the command. Now this is pretty feature filled, so I'm hoping that this can do a little bit better for us. Okay, so we're going to change these up. And we'll do, because this is going to be netcat. This isn't going to be... Okay. We'll leave the others blank just to let it... Oh, listen to that sax. Nice. Okay. So we'll leave the OS and shell blank. Iron Biotica, so the timer runs out, but the machine won't terminate. But yes, we'll keep the timer accurate. Alrighty. That's good. Now, can we get this reverse shell running? Did it do anything dumb with this reverse shell? Change the IP at, yep. Okay, so we did exactly what we were supposed to do. Put rs.php. Up it goes. And we'll get back to images here. There's rs.php. And 10.13.7.20, port 8888. PC NTL fork does not exist, and then no connection made because the target machine is actively refusing it. Is that us? Huh. Let's try an older version. Let's do older.php. And we'll set the address again. 10.13.7.20. And set that to 88. Unless you think Windows Firewall is being a jerk about that, and it's expecting us to do like a real port. But we got 8443 out, so. And all right, let's try that. Okay, and then let's fire up Netcat again. Boy, we are not doing any better. No connection can be made because the target machine is actively refusing it. I've never seen that before. I promise that I don't have a firewall. Unhelpful. Unhelpful. All right, let's just fire it up on 80 and see what happens. Just in case, I'm going to get this off the proxy. Nope, that's not making any difference. I am deeply confused. All right, let's get back to our Meterpreter shell. When you feel stuck, you change the host and the port in the last line in the script? Oh, really? Okay. Thanks, LiveStep. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Oh. That makes sense. Let's try that again. Oh, man. Okay. LiveStep, thank you so much. You just saved us a little bit of Sturm and Drang there. Okay. I mean, I'm all for it. If it works. What? Icon has shell? Well, okay, that's interesting. In that case, let's not use the old one, right? Did I pick Curse of the Shell for tonight's session? I didn't. You know what? I'm still bothered by the VNC install. That was stupid. Forgot to refire up Netcat. Alright, we'll just give that some time to see if it figures itself out. Meanwhile, we got our Meterpreter session, underpowered as it is here. Right, so that was what I was thinking. That we didn't actually fully enumerate this. Whenever you're feeling super stuck on one of these rooms, more often than not, the answer is deeper enumeration. Quick self-plug. I wrote this thing a while ago. No one cared about it at the time, but I thought it was fun. Called hackerstrategies.org. Oh no, I gotta renew the cert. I will do that. But so, hackerstrategies.org basically is based on Brian Eno's Oblique Strategies, which if you've never heard of Brian Eno's Oblique Strategies, Brian Eno, right, music producer, composer, wrote this deck of cards that he used to get out of complicated creative issues, right? And so, they're totally weird. The inconsistent... Let me zoom this in. Das, thank you so much for the follow. The inconsistency principle. Take a break. Always first steps. Abandon orbital instruments. Accept advice. Just carry on. I love these things. So I was inspired by these. ... You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. I love this so much that I made this, and it's just, there's not a lot of them right now. I'm accepting pull requests for more. But if I click on red team, it'll say it gives you things that make you think about what else you need to do. All right, red team. Right, the tool you need. What have you left behind? What do you own? Reverse direction. Buzz something. This might be my favorite one. Google something. And then blue team, we have things like from the outside in. Again, Google something, because it's good advice no matter what side you're on. Normal children of normal parents. Verify policy. So you get the idea. Hackerstrategies.org. I swear I'll fix the cert tonight. I'm sorry about that. When did that go down? A while ago. Like a month ago. I'm sorry I missed that. Oh, Let's Encrypt. And before anyone's like, oh, you can automate Let's Encrypt. No, you can't, because I was dumb, and I did a wildcard for my certs. So you can't automate wildcard certs through Let's Encrypt. Anyway, the point I was trying to make before we got derailed on that was whenever you're feeling stuck, it's a great idea to enumerate deeper, something that you haven't fully looked through. With 22 minutes left. All right, so we know that we have this install share, and we actually haven't looked through this here. So let's go into C installs and see what's up. If anything. That's not a great sign. We might have to get our interpreter shell back. But that's okay, we can do that. And yeah, did we ever get our actual shell? Hey, we did! Look at that! Okay, so let's CDC. Wait, can I actually run real commands? Yes, I promise I will renew that cert tonight. Okay, maybe I can run... Oh, hey! I can run actual commands in this shell. It's slow as molasses, but I can run it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna actually stick with the interpreter shell for now. That is not reasonably quick. You love to see it. Plain text files. I want default passwords. Check and fix launch of Firefox. Disable Defender. Disable Windows Firewall. Sees a remote install attack tools. The Defender's disabled? Check VNC access. Advise customer of IP to point the other smart devices to. Yes! Remove these files as they contain passwords used with other customers. Oh, interesting. So Firefox is set up in kiosk mode. That makes sense. I've deployed Raspberry Pis doing exactly the same thing. For cheap digital signage. Yeah. Hey, if you need cheap digital signage or Raspberry Pi doing exactly this with Chromium in full screen mode or something, and then point it to, what did I do? I pointed it to like a Google slideshow set to autoplay in like the publish mode for a Google slideshow. Instant digital signage. All right, you think maybe it's in ultravnc.ini? Yes. Okay. We have a couple of credentials to try here. Wait, WTF? PS exec. All right. I did not see. We have two passwords here, but are they encoded or something? Let's toss this. It looks encrypted to me, doesn't it? Let's toss this at CyberChef and see what it can do. If it's just encoded, not encrypted. Hey, the Guar. Magic. I'm doing well, friend. How are you? Intensive mode, please. But I don't think that this is actually Chinese. Just a very little bit, Neon. I know a lot of language directly related to Chinese martial arts because I studied Kung Fu for so long. Yeah, 我不说中文。我说英语很好。 Uh, totally lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. We got a hint for the VNC password while we're looking at hints. Wojidal? The user is automatically logged into the computer. That's a fun hint. I think they want us to look at a registry key. But let's take a look at this this tool here. Yut is some say Wanna Cyber, is that Cantonese? I've only studied Mandarin. What are we looking at here? Huh. Alright, can I get lucky and run this thing with wine? Oh, okay. Wanna Cyber, bringing out Wing Chun. I studied a little bit of Wing Chun. I know Bong Sao, right? I know that term. And then most of my Kung Fu was northern. So Tian Shan Pai, in internal arts, Tai Chi, Xing Yi Chuan, and my personal favorite, Ba Ji Chuan. Okay, so we have this VNC decoder on Windows, and I mean, I can move it over to my Windows side if I need to. Would rather not. There's no way this is gonna work. Yeah, no. Okay. All right, fine. Let's just take this folder and move it over to the Windows side and deal with it there. I love being told by my TryHackMe boxes to download random stuff to my machine. I think that's super cool. Oh, Lord. Oh, so I just put in the password? Okay. Solve no code review, clone random repos. Husky, that's what Docker's for. But did anybody see the change of terms of service from Docker today? Was I the only one who got that? Yeah, well, Husky, here's the thing. If you put coin miners in your Docker containers, no one checks. Yeah, I don't think it was bad. I think it was weird. If I understood it correctly, it was like... Alright, let's try this password. If I understood it, it was like Docker Desktop is going... They've been trying to get rid of Docker Desktop forever. Wow, that was fast. No, it's not pay by container, although that would be amazing. I'll have to get out the terms and see what it is. Because they tried to pull some nonsense with the terms recently. And I remember when they changed the billing for how automated builds worked. That was a pain. There's a new Docker service agreement. Docker subscriptions now encompass 4 tiers of service: personal, pro, team, and business. The existing Docker free subscription has been renamed Docker Personal. Docker Desktop remains free for personal use. Here it is. Personal use, education, non-commercial open source projects, and small businesses fewer than 250 employees and less than 10 million USD in annual revenue. Commercial use of Docker Desktop. Tila, thank you so much for the follow. Commercial use of Docker Desktop in larger enterprises requires a Docker Pro, Team, or Business subscription for as little as $5 per user per month. That's still gonna add up. Docker Business is now offered. So, okay, but that's time out though. That's Docker Desktop. That's not Docker CE. That's the Docker like desktop GUI. Here's what they're trying to do. They are trying to get you to stop using Docker Desktop because supporting it is such a pain in the ass. That's been true for a while. That for whatever reason, like, yeah. Okay, so we have this password here. I really want to get this VNC thing going. What? Well, Husky, if they come for Docker CE, we're all just going to have to make LXD containers. And host our containers on, what, Quay.io or something? Did we get the VNC password? Yes, we did. What executable is used to run the installer? It's a different command. It is. And it's a different container runtime. So the answer is to just learn Kubernetes, and then you won't need to worry about your container runtime. What executable is used to run the installer? We found that, right? Was it psexec.exe? Box, thank you. Type every time. Oh, install ww and deploy. That's what we want. Cat that. Yeah, the Guar. So I've done some Kubernetes stuff. That's not going to be a thing. Are you for real? Did we just get the administrator password? You think? I mean, it's long. Let's try crack map exec. Weirdo, thank you for the follow. Nope. That's right. For whatever reason, RDP wasn't working out. But that could have been an R desktop, an RDP thing. Did I get that syntax wrong? Administrator at, right? There it is. This is going to be as slow as our PHP shell. Now, in theory, Defender is off. That's what we saw for the install notes, that Defender is off. All of the issues we've been having so far have just been with how PHP works on this thing. Freaking... Okay, I'm gonna try our desktop too. .10.26.87. What? Draw some pixels. We're coming up to the, I think it might have died. F. But that's okay. This is still up, though. So I'm going to kill it and bring it back up one more time. We were coming up on an hour anyway, so just to be safe. Come on, autofocus. There you go. I'm gonna bring it back up anyway, but we're close. And we have the administrator's password. We weirdly don't have the user's password, but I think I know where to get it. It'll just be easier once we have an RDP session. Because that PHP shell was slow. Okay, we're gonna just knock this off now so that we'll actually feel like we got it when we get the user password and the admin flag. Yeah, so quick preview of tomorrow. One of two things is going to be happening, but depending on whether I get the guest thing going, either we're going to be talking about random number generation with my pal Duct Tape and Dreams with our first guest, or if that falls through, we're going to be doing NIM. No, sorry, back that up. I'm 1 week ahead. We're not going to be doing NIM. I promised that we would continue with JavaScript, so continue with JavaScript we shall. But we are doing NIM in the not-too-distant future because I am smitten. But yeah, we're going to do some JavaScript. I know that Ellie was asking specifically for some help with JavaScript. And there's a lot to do with JS because it's a massive environment. You know, it's funny, having been on the, more system programming side for a little bit, front-end devs, I don't know how y'all live with it. The ecosystem is so wild, and it's changing all the time. So many dependencies. And I did it for so long. I don't know how I did it for so long. Another user signed in? Get him out of here. Off topic, do you have a clean way of managing your .dot files configs, especially when switching distros in a lab environment? It sucks. It really does suck, Cinder Remedy. So, that's a really good question. It depends on the .dot files you're talking about. When it's for stuff that I use everywhere, like Terminator, I have that in a Git repository that I pull down. So I have a setup script for any like Kali machine or anything else that I use. If it's something a little bit more, I could do Git repositories for the rest too, right? But that's my primary solution. Is using Git repos for the stuff that I need to have wherever. The other thing I would recommend, if you want, you could have like a folder called .dot files. I don't know if you're familiar with SyncThing while this is like trying to log in. I don't know if you're familiar with SyncThing, but I love it. So SyncThing uses torrent technology to basically take as many nodes as you want and connect them together, and then have individual have those nodes sync the folders that you want between them. So you could share all of those files, and then once you have a new machine, set it up as an extra SyncThing node, and then those files will then eventually get synced down. It works similarly to the way you could do the same thing with oh my god, I'm totally blanking. Nextcloud. You could do the same thing with Nextcloud if you wanted to go full open source. But SyncThing is nice because it's very, very lightweight and does use that, torrenting protocol. So, it can just download in the background and you won't need to worry about it. Good lord, this machine is under resourced. No wonder the SMB exec was taking so long. $223.89. Oh, I uncopied the password, didn't I? What do I use as a daily? Fox, thank you so much for asking. I've been waiting for somebody to ask me that question. I use, as a daily driver, this is my streaming machine, which is Windows, but I use KDE Neon. Why? Because I love being able to customize all of the stuff on my desktop, and it's backed underneath with Ubuntu. So, super, super clean. I love the Plasma desktop. I love the Plasma desktop, and it's rock solid underneath. Can't ask for more. And by the way, let's take a look at KDE, the Plasma desktop. Right, this is it in dark. Thanks, Artifacting. This is it in light. I don't know why these images are not loading super well. There we go. There it is in dark. And there it is in light. Now, I want you to take a look at that, and then take a look at Windows 11. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What are they center the icons? That's the difference? The Guar, look, I'm the friendly Linux guy, but you don't want those people going after you. Oh man, the Linux community. I love them, but bless their hearts sometimes. Still with this. There was when WSL came out, there was this whole like rumor mill that was like, oh, they're gonna base Windows on the Linux kernel and just have Windows be a graphical user environment. And I was like, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard as a rumor. That's like, I don't know how even to compare that. I would sooner believe that, you know, Tupac's still around. Than that Windows would destroy the entirety of the NT kernel and rebase it on Linux. Imagine the compatibility layer that they would have to maintain in order for legacy applications to run. It's bananas. Why would anyone do that? Ah, the Guar. Like it, you're falling for the System 76 machines. As the owner, I think I told you this, as the owner of 3 Linux System 76 laptops, I endorse this plan as long as you are never too far away from a power outlet. I love those laptops dearly, but their battery life it's probably gotten better, but it's not awesome. But you can also have a lot of fun with the System 76 configurator, as we're still waiting for this remote desktop session to start. Unbelievable. Alright, let's kill some time making an unbelievably expensive System 76 machine. Alright, let's go for the Helio Mega, and let's spec it out. Design and buy. Let's go. Wait, what? We have a mouse. Maybe. Good lord. Okay. Well, that's okay. We're having fun, right? Let's design this unbelievable machine. We're obviously going to add $79 for the dark matter finish. We're going to go to 64 cores. Because we're going to create life. 256 gigs of quad channel ECC DDR at 3200 megahertz. Our performance drive is going to be an 8 terabyte PCIe drive. We are adding another 24 terabytes on an M2 slot. Because why not? Yeah, 256 gigs. We're going to be replacing a good chunk of Azure. Yeah, we'll add an additional. So you might think, oh, go to the bottom of the list, but no, because we can get a 48 terabyte solid state drive instead of the 30 terabyte HDD, and that's what we want. So we're at 25,000 now. Say goodbye to your kids' college fund. Now this is with the RTX A6000. But I guess you can rate it however you want. You do rate yeah. Let's go with the 192 gigabytes 4X Quadros for another 25. And then, yeah, let's obviously add the launch keyboard. And let's do the ultra-wide monitor, right? And, but I feel like the mouse is a little, that's a little much, so we'll leave the mouse off. Yeah, we don't want to go too crazy. And then, obviously, an ErgoDox. Is that one of those? Yeah, that's one of those unbelievable machines. Since this is for the Guar, we'll add the Canada warranty. Okay, so 52,854 USD. And financing is not available over $10,000. Sorry. So, cash up front. So, you could have a really, really nice, you know, model. This won't even get you a Model S, though, will it? But, you know, reasonably appointed Tesla. Or, I think they'll still get you a Mach-E if you wanted to go for the Ford. And, or you could have the ability to usher in the AI apocalypse. Your choice, really. Log on! What are you doing? Yeah, I added the launch keyboard. This is unbelievable. So, X-Ray RDP, what do we do? I don't use this too much. Well, let's go back to... This is very frustrating, since we obviously got to it. It's just slow as molasses. Is there anything else we can do to get a shell on here? I mean, we have evil WinRM, but we don't actually have WinRM. You know? We don't have 5985 open, so... not an option for us, right? WMI. Yeah. Ah! Okay. Something like progress. Interesting that it's using SMB3. I mean, if we can't get it, we can't get it. We were so close. Oh, is it? Thanks, Husky. I did not know that. Yeah, I haven't used WMI exec that much. This thing just has no memory. Yeah, it's just timing out. I'm gonna kill it one more time. I can't believe I'm doing this. But we're gonna let WMI exec ride without doing RDP. Because RDP's... So, Cyber, I will try that. I want to try WMI exec one more time, just because my feeling is RDP is taking so much of the machine's resources, and it's clearly underpowered already. By the way, how nice is it that we've finally fixed the 2-hour, 3-minute issue with the stream dying? Very happy about that. Pro tip for any streamers out there, do not buy the Netgear Nighthawk R7000P router because it can't work past 2 hours, 3 minutes. Just get a ping going down here for when it's up. But in all seriousness about the System 76 machines, obviously you can, you know, go to debtor's prison with the Thelio, but the laptops are fantastic. And by the way, they are built start to finish right here in the US of A. They used to use like MSI or I forget the name of the company, but some, you know, Chinese OEM, and then customize them. No longer. These are built here. So at least the desktops are. Maybe the laptops are still that, but they do customize the firmware and they customize all the drivers for Linux. So you know, coming to you is a machine designed to run Linux. They don't sponsor this show. Nobody sponsors this show except for subs, but open source firmware. The demo game was Half-Life. Yeah, because they have, taste. By the way, don't let this blow past you. A laptop in 2021 that still has an Ethernet port. I had an old school Gazelle back in the day. That was a great machine. I also had a Lemur. Some of these are bananas, right? If you want to go for the Oryx Pro. Oh, they're not even available right now. But yeah, imagine that in a laptop. And yeah, the System 76 even has their own Linda. Oh my god. Getting a little punchy here at 2 hours and 34 minutes of the stream. But they have their own Linux distribution, which people swear by. I actually haven't tried Pop! OS because I'm such a KDE Neon person. But if you want to go the GNOME route, it seems like the way to go. Certainly over default Ubuntu. Okay. That was pretty snappy. Once you go GNOME, there's no going home. Yeah, until one of your extensions crashes the entire desktop. The joke there is that GNOME is single-threaded. Hey, XFCE is a perfectly good desktop. I have nothing against XFCE. This is not going any faster. I'm not optimistic. A lot of people think that KDE or Plasma is like too many options, but I really have not found that to be the case. I think it mostly stays out of your way unless you really want to go crazy. And if you do want to go crazy, it will let you. We could do that one Wednesday. We could do a Linux distro tryout. I could download a bunch of ISOs so we could fire up some VMs and see how they go. That might be fun. You're killing me, Smalls. Okay, we're gonna try PSExec one more time. Why? Why? Okay. I will try our desktop without username or password. per one of Cyber's recommendation. Yes, I trust the certificate. Cred SSP required by server. So how do we solve this problem? And at 10.200. You try the same thing multiple times and expect a different result. $200.135. That would be why Ramina was failing. That's what we were seeing before. Just like a little faster. Okay. So that wasn't better. This is unbelievable. Yeah. Problem was we never had a good shell in the first place. Right? We had that reverse shell. I feel like this is the frame rate is slightly higher. You know, it's like 4 frames per second rather than 2, but that's 100% faster. So I did get a functional shell from that second PHP reverse shell that we tried. and if need be, I can try to do run as there, but it was slow, just like everything else on this box. Okay. You can do it. It wasn't Husky. It wasn't a Meterpreter spawn shell. It was a straight up reverse shell. I don't know how it was doing it, but it was just PHP, not Meterpreter. But you're right. I don't. I don't know what all the limitations there would be. Anybody ever see the old Peter Pan? You just gotta believe. Clap your hands so that our RDP session will survive. Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can run as without a con host spawn CMD shell. I think that's right. I'm welcomed. I feel welcomed. I'm more than ready to begin interacting with this machine. I'm ready for my Windows computing journey to start now. Some of you are probably too old to remember the amazing Windows ads back in the day. Go look up Windows XP Madonna, I think. There was this amazing ad for Windows XP when it was coming out, and people, like, it was getting advertised as though it was a revolution. The taskbar was a color. I don't dare toggle dynamic resolution update. I don't need it to draw any more pixels than it's already trying to. This is rough. .10.200.135. I'm just curious now. Is there a forum page for this? No. I don't want write-ups. So they don't have any progress, or sorry, they don't have any forum pages for this. Which is not awesome. I didn't miss it, did I? No. Like 10.10.200.135. Wait. No. No, 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 no. It will not connect, because I do believe that I need 5985. Did it just freaking die on me? That's diabolical. All that, and then it just dies. Yeah, no. Okay. Well, friends, despite the fact that we were able to get the flag, we were able to get administrator credentials, but unfortunately, the TryHackMe box is just underpowered for its own functionality. So I think we're going to call it there. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I hope you had a great time. Tomorrow night, we will be back at 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to be doing some JavaScript. Most likely. If those plans change, you'll know on Twitter or in the Discord. But that's the plan. So if you want to see some JavaScript, some basic web development, and how to break it, we'll be doing that tomorrow. And then Saturdays, of course, we're doing Blue Team. So until next time, friends, let's see if there's someone streaming right now that we can send you to. Oh, GoPro's on? Yeah, let's definitely send you to GoPro. So, until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and happy hacking.